How can empathy solve all of our problems? I have a friend on Facebook, and there was a big push. There was a big controversy that people on food stamps bought pop. So that's not good for them. They shouldn't be able to buy that. That's liquid candy. They shouldn't be allowed to have candy. They shouldn't have nice things. They're too busy being poor. If those poor people just cut out that candy, they wouldn't be poor anymore. That's dumb. That's the dumbest thing you could say. If that poor person was valued for their labor, they wouldn't be poor anymore. If you were valued for your labor, you wouldn't be poor anymore. My friend on Facebook who said this then said, "They're not like me on food stamps. I'm not some welfare queen. I work." Let me tell you, if you're watching this, you are the same as that person you are calling a welfare queen. You want to get nice things for your children. You want to give them a treat. You want them to be happy. And that's okay. It's okay for poor people to have a nice sofa. It's okay for poor people to get their nails done. The average poor person has more than one job. They work very hard, but they do not get ahead because we do not value people in this country. But without a safety blanket, who might have lost all of their money, people who barely recovered, people who committed suicide. These are the people that lose out in our economy. And what could have helped them is if our government had one shred of decency, had a little bit of empathy. They would make sure that this stuff wouldn't happen again. What they did is they put a little meager law on the books to kinda stop banks from making the same mistake. And that law is now off the books. Though that law wouldn't really have stopped it in the first place. Banks are still packaging crappy loans to people who can't afford them. It's not the people's fault. It's the way the system is designed. It's the way the system is advertised. It's how enticing that adjustable loan rate is. It's the system we are in. And if the people in charge had empathy for the voters, for the people who lived here, for the people who they are supposed to serve, then they would change things. They would make it better. And if the majority of America had empathy for other Americans, instead of pointing the finger at them and calling them welfare queens and telling them to get back to their own country, and saying that this is a black problem, or this is an Alabama problem, or this is a Kentucky problem, or this is a North Dakota problem, if instead they would say this is our problem, these are our people. There aren't the majority of black homicides in Chicago. There's a lot of white homicides too, and that's our problem. The people in Flint do not have clean water, and that is our problem. Companies and corporations serve themselves and treat normal people, treat workers as a commodity, and feel free to leave the very workers that built up those factories and built up those countries and feel nothing for them. That's our problem. That's something we need to fix. And it's something we can fix. If we just get our butts off our heads. If we just relate to one another. to people that are feeling pain, to people that went through college and didn't get anything for it, to people that can't afford college, to people that are trying to raise children, to people that have a child in their belly that they didn't want. We need to be able to serve people. We need to relate more to each other.